That looks really good. Gotta let the sausage release a lot of that moisture. You hear that? So that's frying sounds, right? Compared to the evaporating water that you would hear before. It's kind of crackling. Yeah, that's what you want. I feel like I honestly might need a larger pan. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty confident I should have a larger pan than this because I'm putting more ingredients in here, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so now I'm seeing that I'm creating what's called a fond. I don't know if you can see from my camera, but there's this, especially because my pan is black, but if you can see, there's this burnt, sticky looking level here. If I scrape a little bit, you might be able to see more, maybe. That will burn eventually. And it honestly looks a little bit too dry right now, so I don't want that to dry out too much. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to keep cooking this until the broccoli is nice and bright green. You don't want it to turn gray or lose color, just a nice bright green. Honestly, right now is pretty good. You can go a little bit longer. I have it on a medium-low heat. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. And at this point, that's pretty much where it's going to be until I put the pasta in. So what I'm gonna do now is add a little bit of this red chili pepper flake. Although my sausage is already spicy, I like my pasta spicy. Gonna add a little bit of salt. And I'm actually going to deglaze right now with some wine, with some sparkling white wine. You know, ideally you don't want to deglaze with wine that's sweet. Prosecco is pretty sweet. So that's usually not what you want to use to deglaze, but that's what I have, so it's okay. Even if it's sparkling, if it's flat, it doesn't really make a huge difference as far as I'm concerned. Let's do a bit more. You want to deglaze with usually like a cup or so. I think that's about right. I'm gonna put some in my glass because I used it. There goes the timer for the pasta. Stir that, turn that off. Really quick, while this is deglazing, I'm gonna try to scrape before my pasta overcooks. I'm gonna try to scrape some of that fond down. And that will all reduce into a nice base. Okay, that looks good. I don't feel a lot of fond. I don't know if you can see, but the pan looks pretty clean now when I scrape my wooden spoon. All of that level of burnt, reduced fat and meat and everything else that's been in there has kind of come off with the wine. Now I'm gonna let that reduce with the wine for a second. Turn this down and let's get the pasta. Without really draining too much, because I want some of that starchy pasta water that's gonna help thicken up the sauce. And to be honest, my pan is not quite big enough, so I might pour this into my pot, which is not really the conventional way to do it, but we'll get it done. Also gonna turn my heat off, sorry. It's plenty hot. Might turn it back on in a second, but for now, I don't want to start burning or overcooking any of the pasta or anything else that's in there. So let's, okay, looking good. Now we're gonna turn the heat back on a little bit. Turn on low, stir this around. That's hot. It's too hot to grab with my hand. Okay. The last thing I'm gonna do is add some Parmesan. I'm gonna add a lot of it because I like a lot of it. So I'm gonna stir this around with the Parmesan. It's gonna become a sticky, spicy sausage and broccoli mixture. That looks pretty good. Okay. Turn the heat off. Give it some black pepper. Looks good. Let's put some fresh olive oil in here also. At the end of a lot of pasta dishes, including a ragu, like a spaghetti, you know, spaghetti with red sauce or ragu, you would also put fresh olive oil at the end because it has a different taste than when it's cooked. If you have good extra virgin olive oil, even if it's not super high quality, just extra virgin olive oil. Generally in Italy, they eat it with, they eat it raw. So they do cook with it, but at the end, they'll top things with that. That looks okay. I mean, it's not, you know, Statue of David, but it's good. So, let's get this over here. Get that nice light into it. That looks really good. Get some into the bowl, get some extra broccoli. Broccoli on top. This might seem strange to some people. You have basically a kitchen rag, or I shouldn't say rag, that makes it sound like it's dirty. I'm not cleaning the floor with it, but something you're cooking with. You have a towel in restaurants often, and with that towel, usually a clean one, you have kind of different ones. You also use to clean the sides of the plates that you're plating. Right, so you're serving a dish, sometimes your hands have a sauce or something on them, you don't want fingerprints on the plate, so you clean with your towel that you have, and this towel serves to clean your cutting board, a lot of things. I mean, you have multiple of them, but that's how it goes down. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna top it with a little bit more Parmesan. I know this is a little bit longer of a video. I usually don't talk in my videos either, but some of my friends have complained about that, so I guess we'll see how this goes. Maybe people enjoy the explanations. I prefer when people don't talk. That looks really good. So this dish you usually make with broccoli rabe. I'm not even sure exactly what the difference is. I'm not sure if it's a different species or maybe it's a young broccoli, but usually this is made with broccoli rabe, which is not traditional broccoli, which is a round, what I used here, traditional round head of broccoli. But in my garden, we grew a large round head of broccoli, and this is it. And we're eating it today, and it looks really good. Tastes amazing, great texture also. That's amazing.